Morning, St. Louis. Welcome back to another episode of Who's Talk Mobile, where conversations get deep and intellectual. I'm your host, Artemis Caldwell, founder and CEO of Who Is ALC, where we believe change won't come unless we help each other the right way. Every day, someone is born with their eyes closed, and I believe together we can change that. And when the world asks who, what would you say? Today with me, my special guest, Cameron Heights, Cam Bam, back in action, came on to the show just to join the community conversation of the significance of February. Today's topic, you know what I'm saying? But before we get into all that, please, warm welcome. Hey, bro, thank you for coming back on, for blessing the stage, you know what I'm saying? Blessing the show. Yeah, bro, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me once again. It's been a minute. Got to get it back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, reason I brought you here, so February, you know, we already in. It's one of those months that's big, but it's not big, if that makes sense. 28 days, all jam-packed with all this stuff. First and foremost, Black History Month is February. Then, right behind Black History Month, we got the Love Day, Valentine's Day. You know what I'm saying? And like a whole bunch of other stuff like Ash Wednesday up in there. President's Day, so banks close. Abraham Lincoln birthday, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I can't forget about that. That's the whole reason for what we're finna be talking about. You know what I'm saying? So,
because he freed the slaves.
So, alright, man. So, just to jump into it, you're a pretty interesting guy when it comes to Black history. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to standing up for the Black community, and when you join this community conversation, you got pretty interesting views. So, first off, let me ask you this: how important is February to you? Just a month.
In all honesty, it's not that important to me. Black History Month is one of those things that this is the only month where we care about like our history and not just the civil rights movement, just like Black global history in general. So when we start to care about Black history outside of February, that's when I'll think that we've made some progress. But just focusing on it in February when there's so much we don't know.
Yeah.
We can talk about pre-colonial Africa, we can talk about Reconstruction, we can talk about feminism and how it hurt the Black family, we can talk about deindustrialization after the civil rights movement, the crack epidemic, we can talk about the societies that were brought that were brought up in destruction of Black civilization. Like, we can't just focus on civil rights and then slavery, because there's so much that we did before and after that.
And I do feel that, though. I do feel like the only time we get like super Black liberal, you know what I'm saying, is in February.
Yeah, but people just follow the bandwagon.
Yeah.
Just because it's like the topic, it's a trend.
Yeah,
but
every February come down, it's always Black History, dashikis, and everybody trying to get to know themselves, you know what I'm saying? Right. And it's like, as soon as February 1st hit, it's like a timeline, like a, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
a shift, yep.
You know, like or a stopwatch,
right.
That's what I mean, like, because everybody like, the always argument, well, February only 28 days, you know what I'm saying? I always hear that. And I always just like, well, if Black history is just within 28 days, I thought like all history is just the same, you know what I'm saying? But I could be wrong, you know.
So it's one of those things that, if we're gonna be totally honest,
all right,
a lot of people only celebrate Black history because white people let us. And I know that's probably gonna be a hot take, but it is what it is.
I give you that, because why you say that before I jump on with you? Why would you say that?
Because while we only relegating our history to 1 month, first of all, and then two, Black history is something that should be taught every single day.
Okay.
365, 366 on leap years. 24/7. Because if you don't know your history, you don't know what you're trying to achieve or aspire to do.
Or learn.
Right. Because if you don't know your past, you won't know your present. And if you don't know your past, you won't know your present. And if you don't know your present, you won't know your future. And I have a question. If there was no Black History Month, would we really study and celebrate Black history?
I feel that.
Because we only enjoy being Black for 28 days or 29 days on a leap year. But outside of that, it's just
We got Juneteenth.
yeah.
We got those 3 days. But I do feel you on somebody told me that in order for us to revolt, for Black people to revolt and get our retributions, or not necessarily retributions, what it is that we're trying to achieve and accomplish, we have to make white people comfortable. So by doing so, by doing so, when you said that that white people are they give us Black History Month,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, solely because Lincoln, his birthday in February, so hey, he freed the slaves. Why don't we just let y'all have this? You know what I'm saying? This is the time we, go all black out, Black pride, this, that, and the third. And then on top of that, you can't get too black. You know what I'm saying? And then also, did you know the only time the McRib come back with McDonald's is in February? That's when they got like the barbecue sauce sandwich and stuff like that. I just find that real funny, just as like advertising to blacks. You know?
It's selling to the Negro.
Yeah, and it's just in order for us to get what it is that we want, we got to make them comfortable. So I see what you're saying when we giving Black History Month, because you better not act black all the way through the whole year, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's now. I mean, it's coming up now, but even then with Black History Month with February, it's kind of overlooked. It's like a half and half, you know what I mean? It's like half of it is dedicated to Valentine's Day, other half is for Black people.
So in order for us to get where we need to be, we're gonna have to make white people and non-Black people uncomfortable. That's just how it's gonna have to be. And to me, Black History Month is just another term, is another form of the term that I call symbolic activism. White people giving us 1 month to enjoy being Black, and then after that, we don't really care about it anymore. So it's all symbolism.
So what you think? So what you think the real thing behind February is? Like, what I mean to say that as, like, what's really significant about February, since we talking about it? Because I would say nothing, for real. It's just another month.
That was gonna be my answer.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And what was that? Was it Apple? They made if I'm not mistaken, they made a RBG Apple Watch.
What's that?
Red, black, and green Apple Watch.
So
that's another case of selling to the Negro. So
right, because we don't own it, and none of that profit is going toward our community.
Not at all.
Huh.
Yeah. So Dr. Amos Wilson, one of his greatest quotes is, "When Black people go to college, we go to college to study business. When other groups come to America, they study Black people." That's a bar.
Why? Explain.
Because what we do is we go to college, but then after college, we don't have any businesses to run.
We running everybody else stuff.
Right, we working for other people. Yeah. When other people come here, they establish businesses and then they market to us. So we are their business, and then we work for other people.
Okay, bars. All right.
So
okay.
black people, definitely study Dr. Amos Wilson. He is one of our greatest scholars of all time. He's one of our greatest psychologists of all time.
Okay, shout out, man.
Shout out to their ancestor, Dr. Amos Wilson. His lectures are on YouTube. You can find his books at DTR360 Books on Instagram, at DTR360 Books on Instagram. And I have Black on Black Violence, the psychodynamics of black self-annihilation in service of white domination. That is a great book, and I need to get back to reading it.
I feel that.
So, yeah, definitely study that ancestor. Yes, because he has dropped some very pertinent information, and it's still relevant. Like, a lot of the things that our ancestors have said are still relevant, because we're still in the same predicament. And in some ways, we've actually went backwards. So it's one of those things.
Yeah, I feel that.
So to me, February is just I don't want to say this.
I feel like it's something marketable to blacks. That's what I feel like.
Yeah, and a lot of black people's pro-blackness is really disguised as integration, believe it or not. Like, there's a saying, you cannot judge an African by his dashiki or kente cloth. You can't. Because you can have all the ankhs you want. You can have all the RBG, all the kente cloth, all the Pan-African flags you want. But if you have not internalized the information, it's no good. Like, consciousness is not about memorization. It's about internalization. Like, making the information a part of who you are and applying it. So you can be RBG all you want to, but if you have an integrationist mindset, then all that is basically intellectual masturbation. So we have to get past information. Information is only one step. After information comes organization or mobilization, whichever word.
I feel that. I was like a mental emancipation, if I can get that. Because I just feel February is one of those mental slavery mindsets.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? To where, like, man, if you don't celebrate February, or like, not necessarily celebrate February, what I mean is if you don't take in everything that's like the festivities and stuff like that, then not like you're an outcast, but it's like okay, this guy. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, you can have all the unks and stuff like that, but even in our community, we outcast those people. You know what I'm saying? We treat them like, who are you? You know what I'm saying? And then we only get on their team when February come around. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those like, nah, I'm cool, because it's not really what's real, you know? And then on top of that, like, we'll see people out, we'll see non-Africans, non-blacks wearing a kente cloth or dashiki in public before the blacks. You know what I'm saying? And that person would assume that they black. So we talking about cultural appropriation. You know, and I feel like we as African Americans make our culture accessible easily.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's something Tariq has said. He's talked about on multiple occasions where people say that we don't have a culture. Well, if we're gonna be honest, we are the culture.
Yeah.
Like, every black group outside of America looks at black America to decide what's hot and what's not.
Yes.
So if you want to say we are the leaders of every black group around the world, we have a problem with that, because we don't even know what we're doing in America. So it's the blind following the blind. And also, if we're the leaders, where are we leading our people to? That's a very pertinent question. So I don't like to say we're the leaders, because we're not leading our people anywhere. not anything constructive or positive.
See, yo, what you believe? You're a Pan-African, right?
Yes.
So what is a Pan-African, real quick, briefly?
So Pan-African is one who believes in the unity, the political, economic, social unity of African people globally. That is not to say that every single African is gonna be down with it. No. We want the people who are honest and sincere, who are serious and sincere. So every single African is not gonna be down with it.
And when you mean African, you mean person of color, black people.
Yes.
Yeah.
But here's my problem with the term black people. I don't want to get too off subject.
All right, yeah.
When we say black people, we have to be clear about who we're talking about. We are talking about people who are genetically African. If you are a mixed breed, you're not black. If you have Neanderthal DNA in you, you're not black. When we say African...
But you can say that about all of us in America, though, almost.
Well, okay, I'll be even more clear. If you have majority Neanderthal DNA, you're not black. We are talking about people, like, I don't even like the term melanated people, because East Indian people, they're melanated, they got dark skin. Like, we got to be clear, we're talking about African features, the hair, the nose, the lips, not just the skin.
Okay.
Like, and I prefer the term African over black because John Henrik Clarke said names should tie you to land and culture. There is no black land. There is no Negro land. There is in Africa. So there's nothing wrong with the term black people. But for me, it's not specific enough because a lot of people like to claim East Indian, dark-skinned people is black. They like to claim the Melanesians as black. It's like, no, man, we have to be clear about who we talking about.
Yeah, I feel that.
So if you don't like the term, if you don't want to be called an African because we've never been to Africa, we're not culturally African, which I disagree with. And
because we still got rhythm, we still got blues, we still got like rap. I feel the hip hop era, that's African, that's us still tied to our some type of African in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I feel like that the hip hop era is our own renaissance, our own enlightenment era, where the Africans that were kidnapped from Africa and placed over here, we reinvented ourselves through hip hop.
Agreed.
You know,
so if you want to be called black over African, that's cool. So we have to meet people where they are. So black is the accepted term now for people who look like us, and that's fine. But eventually we have to raise our consciousness level where we have to tie our names to land and culture. Because at first it was Negro, then it's black. So
it's raising, yeah, you think?
So eventually we got to get to African, but you got to get to African before you can get to Pan-African.
I think it went from nigga, Negro, and then now we at black folk. Yeah. Okay. Just a real quick overview of February, man. Just wanted to see how you know what I'm saying, what a mind could do on this topic. I know we kind of just brushed over a little bit of everything, didn't dive into too much. Yeah, bro. Yeah, February, huh?
Yeah, we still drop some gems though.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Just a little bit. But hey, y'all already know. I'm your host, Artemis Caldwell, founder and CEO of Who Is LLC, where we believe change won't come unless you help each other the right way. Every day someone is born with their eyes closed, and I believe we can change that. And when the world asks who, what would you say? I always jam with me. Y'all already know. Cam Heights, the man with the plan. Your favorite Pan-African. Any closing words, bro? Last thing you want to wrap up about February, the people should know?
I just want to say, family, we have to be unapologetically black or unapologetically African, whichever one you want to claim. To be honest, I really use them interchangeably, but I prefer African.
I feel
But
that.
please study your history outside of slavery and civil rights. And if you're going to study slavery, go into slave narratives, because I want to start reading those too.
Yeah. And two, the only reason why Lincoln freed the slaves is for a political reason. That's the only reason why we got February right now.
Agreed.
Okay?
And one last thing.
Go for it.
I think we should stop calling our ancestors slaves. We should call them enslaved, because slave is a position of servitude.
Yeah.
Enslaved means it's forced upon you, meaning it's an imposed condition.
Okay.
So we are the descendants of enslaved Africans. We are not descendants of slaves. That is to take away from our ancestors' humanity, because they were not slaves. They were human beings.
They were enslaved.
Exactly.
Huh.
So words have meaning.
Boom. You heard it first on the baddest podcast out here.
Facts.
Who is? Let's go. Y'all know it. ARDIMUS. Cam Bam. We out. Deuces.